Hi,
Hi there.
is this Don?
Yes, this is Don.
Hi, this is Alex Mushat from Zile și Nopți in Bucharest in Romania.
Are you in Romania, Alex?
Yes, I'm all the way in Romania.
Well, I'll be doggone. How do you like that?
Well, that is amazing. I'm not sure if you've ever given an interview to a Romanian newspaper before. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. It means a lot.
Well, that's great. Thank you for being interested in my music. I really appreciate it.
You have a new Christmas album, and as the title says, it's remixed, it's remastered. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think these are not new recordings. These are, as the title says, remixed and remastered recordings that you
That's
made
right.
in the 90s, I think.
That's right. And but in some cases, we put on extra instrumentation and really changed the nature of a bunch of these to make them much, much better. And so I started doing this for my own sake because I just got so sick and tired of certain things on some of these, and I have the ability to do this very easily now. So I got 2 or 3 of these, and I said, "Man, this sounds like it's a whole new thing. I should put this out, and draw attention to this because the dynamics of the tracks now are far greater and far better than they were before, and the whole thing is just a much better experience." So we came up with this idea of doing this, and we're going to have a volume 2 and put the rest of them out and do the same thing with all of those.
Yeah, they do sound better. I noticed they sound a lot louder, which is perfect for today's aesthetics, if I can say so.
Well, they're bigger, my voice is huge, and it's EQ'd differently, and we've been working on this. My producer, Mike Sievers, we've made a number of records. We've made the Addicted to Black album. We've made the Botanical Gardens album. We've made the Still Playing Favorites album. Now we've come out with this, and we have ready to go in February a new album of Don McLean original songs called American Boys. And that's coming out. So I've been busy with that, and then the documentary movie on the making of the American Pie, writing the song American Pie and recording it, called The Day the Music Died, the story of Don McLean's American Pie, and both that and the Christmas album are on Amazon. So all you Romanians out there, you can get it right on Amazon.
Are you interested in re-releasing remixed versions of your other songs? There's this trend, you must have noticed a lot of artists are remixing their songs, not just remastering them.
Not really. But like, for example, a song like Crying, which Larry Butler made, was a #1 record for me in lots of countries many years ago. I wouldn't touch that song, but I don't know if people know the difference between remixing and remastering, and I will explain it very briefly. To remix a song, you literally go in and take the entire track apart. Every single instrument is then looked at and given perhaps a new sound, each single instrument, and then it's all mixed together by the producer again. Remastering takes the mix as it is, but pulls out many frequencies and changes many things from the actual track that's mixed now. So it's a secondary process. It's very important. I've heard that Mick Jagger takes more time with mastering than he even does with mixing on records.
That's
and
interesting.
I can understand why.
The Beatles have released their greatest hits album, I think, a few weeks ago, completely remixed, and they sound so much better and so much bigger,
Yeah, and you just, for example, I'm going to be releasing 14 more albums on Amazon. They're albums that I own, and they're part of the deal I've made with this record company that's put out the Christmas record. And mastered before they go out. So and they're all going to be on vinyl also. So this is a long process, and it will be very good for people who are fans of my music and my records to hear this.
You've sang a lot of classic Christmas songs on this record. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, White Christmas, and many, many others. And, these are songs that transcend generations. You've probably heard them as a kid, and your children must have heard them, and they're here for generations to come, which I can honestly say about your songs as well, if I could compare them to Christmas songs, your classic songs. So I was going to ask you, what do you think... What is it about your songwriting that makes your songs withstand the test of time?
Well, I think that, as we pass through time now, so much time has passed since the 70s and the 60s. It's very, very, very long time ago now. And we're seeing a pattern emerge of things as you look back. First of all, many, many records, many songs, many artists who were very popular once are not popular anymore, and no one cares about their songs, their music, or their records, and you don't hear them.
Mm-hmm.
Other artists go the other way. They become more popular, and the songs have more endurance. That has to do with public taste, and there's no accounting for taste.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you that as we moving forward, every album that I ever made, I took a great deal of care with. And there are valuable things on all those records, and they will be remembered. They will be remembered as part of this whole body of work, as they say. So that's a very nice feeling to have, to see how time has sorted this stuff out, because it could have gone either way.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear, for example, old folk music acts, like these groups that used to be big, the Brothers Four, the Kingston Trio, the Terriers, all these people you don't hear those people on the radio anymore, ever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was a whole kind of music. You don't hear big band music on the radio anymore, almost ever. You have occasionally a throwback, like what's her name, Donna Krall or Lady Gaga or Michael Bublé or whatever, try to do that thing, but it'll never come back like it once did. Mm-hmm. And yet I think the thing that really matters is songwriting. I think that if you are in the enviable position that I'm in, to be the singer and the songwriter and basically the musical director of everything that I do, then you're going to get a point of view on all my songs it's pretty consistent. And so I think that has an advantage, but I also think that I don't write songs like anybody else does. Mm-hmm. My songs cover many different topics, and and I cover, I wrote a song on the Addicted to Black called "Run Diana Run,"
mm-hmm.
and that's a nasty song about the murder and the death of Diana Spencer. Well, that doesn't get a lot of airplay, because it's not the warm and fuzzy feeling that everybody wants to have with Princess Diana, but basically the news media in England stalked that person down like a rare bird.
Right.
Until they killed her. Right. And that's what the song says. Mm-hmm. So, that's the kind of thing I do, and by the same token, I do an "And I Love You So," which is just a straight pop love song.
You mentioned "And I Love You So," which was covered by so many great artists, from Elvis to Perry Como, and this Christmas album is a covers album. And I was going to ask you, what are your thoughts on covers?
I want to talk to you about the word cover. The word cover is, if you don't mind me saying so, is misused.
Right.
A cover version of something. You wouldn't call Frank Sinatra or Nat King Cole cover artist. Mm. And all sing the same songs.
Mm-hmm.
What a cover was a white version of a black record that was heating up and going to become a hit record in the white world, and they didn't want that. So, for example, you take a song like Shaboom, which was originally recorded by, I don't know which group did that, but it was a black group, and it started to get a lot of action and started to cross over onto white stations, and immediately they put the crew cuts in the studio, and they recorded an exact duplicate of the song as much as they could, as, being white guys with crew cuts, and they stole the hit from the black act and prevented them, covered them up in a way. So that's really what it means. That's really what it is. And so what I do is I sing the American songbook, and I interpret every one of those songs. I don't cover them.
Right. Well, thank you very much. I didn't know that. You're going back on the road.
Most people don't.
Yes, you're going back on the road next year. I was going to ask you about your future plans, but you just told me that you have a lot going on with Amazon and the documentary and all your future endeavors. I was going to ask you, American Pie was replaced rather recently by Taylor Swift as the the longest song that's ever topped the Billboard charts, and she sent you a note. And how did that feel? Did that feel like passing the torch to a new generation of singer-songwriters? Was that satisfactory?
Well, Taylor does a lot of very introspective songs about her feelings, about love, about relationships, about moments between people who love each other or falling out of love or whatever. And that's really something that I kind of pioneered in a way, a very introspective. I certainly didn't think about it that way, and other people did it too. But I think, to me, my music was therapy for me. I did things for myself. I wrote a song about George Reeves called Superman's Ghost because I was interested in the death of George Reeves. Mm-hmm. I wrote songs like Empty Chairs and things like that, which ended up sparking the lyrics for the song "Killing Me Softly." Mm-hmm. But I didn't do it I didn't do it because I wanted to be like someone else. Here's what happened. I love folk music and I love rock and roll, early rock and roll and pop music. And I know thousands and thousands of these songs, but I could not find. I started as I was getting older. In my 20s, I couldn't find anything that was what I wanted to say exactly. So I said, well, since I couldn't do that, I had to write it for myself. And there's an interesting song on the re-release of the American Pie album on CD called Aftermath, and that's a song that was supposed to have been on the original album. And that's a song I created a whole guitar part for that and sang it in one take in the studio. And that's about an insane person in an asylum, who vacillates between thinking about this and that to wanting to kill everybody. So I would do things for my own enjoyment, my own mental health. I didn't really care. And there's about 40 other songs I've written I never recorded. I don't know where the sheet music is for those, but I kind of remember them. There's some interesting ones in there. But that's why I did it. I didn't do it because I wanted to be like James Taylor or Bob Dylan or any of those people.
Well, Don, thank you so much for this talk. It's been such an honor to talk to you. American Pie was one of the first songs that I learned how to play on the guitar, and it helped me become a full-time musician, so I'd like to thank you for that.
Thank you.
And
well, there's a lot of chords in that song, so it's good for guitar players.
Thank you so much, and I hope people will listen to your Christmas album because it's a great album. Thank you so much, Don. Have a great day.
You. Okay, buddy.
Thank you.
Take care now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.